I always like to do the hair myself. I don't think other people really appreciate it. My hair is like spun gold. It really is. Oh, that's a bit much, isn't it, still? The jacket will cover that. I said to the makeup girl, she wasn't exactly easy with the flattery. I said to her, I don't want a lot. I mean, I don't want... It's just a touch-up, really, to cover the acne. You know, I'm ablaze with the acne. I said, just a touch-up, not a lot of makeup. Should make up your more a paper-hanging job. I thought, it's a bit much, isn't it? And the ego was around the ankles. I said to her, I would remind you, I'm a cult figure. She said, yes, you'll probably attract a cult audience. I said, oh, yes, I wonder what sort of house they'll get. I should think it'll be a cross-section of the cognoscenti. I should think so. People in the know, a few pros, probably. Yes, I should think they'll get a nice cross-section. Hope there's some girls wearing pretty dresses. I always think that's glam, don't you? A few pretty dresses in an audience. Let's hope there are people with an appreciation for the finer things of life. I certainly happen to be one of them. Are you kidding? Question about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kenneth Williams.
Hello. Lovely to see you all. May I say what an honor it is for you to have me here tonight. And we're going to begin in a very relaxed fashion because that music they played has a particular affection as far as I'm concerned because it was the music that was first used when I came on doing my own number in a show. You know, I did impersonations for an army show, actually. It was one of those army reviews we did in Singapore with CSE, that was Combined Services Entertainment, and the compere said, and that song, he actually had a voiceover saying, that number, Stairway to the Stars, introduces Kenneth Williams with the voices of the stars, which I thought was lovely. I loved that. And then I came on and did these impersonations, you see. My impersonations were Mabel Constantinos and Felix Aylmer. And Stanley Baxter said, nobody's ever heard of him. A ludicrous way to open a show. And so I did it, I sort of leavened it by putting Winston Churchill in the middle. So I started off saying I was doing Mabel Constantinos, my impression of Mabel Constantinos. Oh, hello, I came ashore in my bushette, and they said, are you one of Wingate's boys? I said, no, I'm one of Colgate's girls, and here's some teeth to prove it. And then I followed that up with this Churchill saying, we shall fight, we're on the beaches. We're on the landing ground, where we shall never surrender. Which I thought was quite good. And then I finished up, you see, with this one, Felix Aylmer, saying, my impression of Felix Aylmer, it was long ago remarked by an infant divine, yet all the public know of a man is his reputation. Yes, to his character, God alone, you know this. And they didn't understand it at all. And they said, doing quite the wrong things for the troops. Quite the wrong things for the troops, they said, you see. I mean, they were all doing different kinds of acts. Peter Nichols was doing a thing. He came on as a sort of convict. Is Peter Nichols here? Peter Nichols? Oh, there he is. I bet you don't remember. Do you remember, Peter, that number you did? It was called Condemned to Die. Yes. He came on, you won't remember the lines. Don't remember any of the lines, do you? No, I'll do them for you. He came on, he had this I knew their lines, I could have understood it. He had a convict's uniform with all these arrows on it, and it was called Condemned to Die. They will lead me out in the cold, grey dawn, and I shall see the rope swinging backwards and forwards. That was it, wasn't it? Yeah. Yes, and I shall think of my... I shall think of my old grandmother swinging backwards and forwards in her rocking chair on A deck. I never understood that, A deck. Something to do with troop ships, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's right. And he said she had a long nose like the Malay Peninsula. And there was a wart at Singapore. She had long hair on that wart. It used to crack like a whip every time she sneezed. I remember one day she took an extra pinch of snuff and knitted herself a balaclava helmet. I remember that very well. And Stanley Baxter was doing a sort of kilted Scot, and I had, at one point, to do a patter act with him. And he had these lines. He was a Scots kilt. For some reason, he always did it in North Country. I don't know why, but he said, you know, in Egypt, they're so honest. You know, Cairo, as you're going on the left, there's a lamppost. And I had to say, yes, of course. Of course. He said, well, on that lamppost in 1940, I hung a watch. And when I went back in 1941, it was still there. And I had to say, what? The watch? And his line was, no, the lamppost. And on the night, I said, what, the lamppost? If looks could kill.